Hello everybody, my name is Wilfredo Mosquera. In this opportunity I'm going to share some information about the language for and function course. I study English at UNAD University. I'm 28 years old. I live in Turbo and I like to play soccer and different sports too. Now I'm going to share about the 4 questions in this first activity. For example, how do you compare the quotation from Wallace Chafe at the beginning of the chapter with the proposal of linguistics? Wallace Chafe expressed that language users are not aware to the crystal itself, but only for the idea to go up to try it. The dimension converts in the proposal of linguistics because it's playing in a methodological way the importance of linguistics, and use the language is the way this exercise to do. It's going to play that you're going to use the linguistic in the intentionality from the speaker and listening. We have to learn any language, and it doesn't matter. Second question is, why do you think about people approach the study of linguistics with a professionalism? Is your case? I'm going to explain that. I consider that the great majority of those who study linguistics is called, or you're going to claim that, or mix the linguistic with social-cultural, and therefore language is immersing in culture now. They will become to teacher anyway. Language is implied to a profession of broad knowledge on structure. In the case of the bachelor's degree in English and study it, it's difficult to recognize the component of the language to provide qualified or traveling advice. Another question is linguistics about correctness in language use? As I explained in previous lines on previous questions, the linguistic article with culture, therefore in a certain way to become so the process decantation, and which were back to trial to laboratory of cultural phonema and explain to intentionalities of ideas according to the society or the society in which you are have the technology in the record. The truth is that linguistics allow to clear connection between the speaker and listener, and to handle information side the function is more cultural or descriptive. So in this course, another people have to study about linguistics. For example, what is the name of the greatest contribution linguistic field? How will you label them? For quotation third. The first is Ferdinand of Saussure. I said that, precursor of the interpretation of natural language. Another is Naumann Chomsky. For me, it's the organ of the language and influencing of the classification of the language of computation too. And then is Michael Holiday, and for me, it's the organ of brain. The important is you're going to mix that information, because we're going to speak English or another language. It's important that you take in mind the grammar and the good file structure, because first is the subjects, the verbs. It's a different verbs too, and different components about the grammar. You need to study good, because we're going to write a letter, for example, or you're going to send a message. It's a different ways. The idea came to change. For that reason, the linguistic is important, because it's a filter to do a good intention of the speaker, and the listener is going to do idea, to catch the idea very good. Thank you so much, and see you next in another opportunity.